Well, it's been a busy day on the transfer market, hasn't it? So Burnley have agreed a deal with Chelsea to sign Leslie Ukuchukwu for 20 million. We have handled this guy's development horribly. This guy's good enough to play for Chelsea right now, especially considering the amount of games we're going to play next season. We need the midfield depth. We can't rely on Lavia's fitness, and we don't have the height in midfield. But nonetheless, 20 million is a good fee because we paid around about that much for him. But we're going to see when he plays for Burnley, we're going to see how good he is. He was unlucky under Poch because Poch never played him, even sub appearances. And then he was unlucky to get the injuries, which left him out for ages. And you know, when a young player gets injuries and has fallen out of the squad, it's practically impossible unless they're premium talent for them to make it back. Moving on to a deal that I'm actually happy about. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall has moved to Everton for a deal worth up to 29 million. Considering that we signed him for 39 million, this is a brilliant deal because on the books we actually make a profit on him. Anything over 24 million is a profit on the books. He was a decent player, especially in the Conference League where he spent most of his time playing, but he was never ever Chelsea quality. I'm glad he's gone, but I hope he does well at Everton, and to be honest, I think he will. He's the type of player that I can see becoming a mid-table legend. The sporting director's got lucky with this one because he's a player that we should have never signed, but it all levels out because we sold him for pretty much the same amount or even made a profit on him. Moving on to Carney Chukwuemeka. The reports are Chelsea have drastically reduced the asking price, so clubs are more open to negotiating now. This one severely pains me. This is a player that I had so much hope for when we signed him. Showed so many promising signs, but injuries. It's always injuries killing off these players' careers. The writing has been on the walls for a while now that he was going to get sold, so I've been expecting it, but it still hurts because this guy was one of my favourite players. You could see when he was on the ball, people got excited. I will never forget his goal against West Ham, and that was the game that he got injured as well. Hopefully, when he inevitably leaves, he can gain fitness and show the world exactly why I had so much hope for him and why Chelsea paid 40 million for him from Aston Villa as a 19-year-old. Moving on to Tyreek George. Now, this is a confusing one, considering that he played quite a few games for his debut season. Apparently, he wants to leave in search of more consistent game time. Isn't he 19 years old, 20 years old if I'm not wrong? Made about 18 appearances last season. I think some of these youth players are getting ahead of themselves. I will always be grateful for that goal against Fulham because I feel like that brought our season back alive after the dreadful period. But he, in my opinion, has never ever been good enough to start for us. He simply does not have the pace to play on the wings, and his dribbling does not make up for it. His best attribute is ball striking. I reckon he'd be better off as a striker, and funnily enough, that's where he played when he came on against Fulham and scored that so important goal. In hindsight, we all should have expected this, because if you saw the interview that Achimpong and George did with Rising Ballers, Achimpong said, "I hope to make it at Chelsea, I don't care about the competition, I'm ready." And George said, "I hope to make it whether it's at Chelsea or somewhere else." So clearly, he's been thinking of this for a while. The reports are Roma have spoken to his representatives, but he's prioritising a move to Germany. Fabrizio has also reported that Nkunku is still likely to leave Chelsea and Nico Jackson can leave if an important proposal is presented. On Nkunku first, I'll be glad to see the back of him, to be honest. His time here has run its course. It's about time he leaves. I think he's on one of the highest wages for a player that does not try when he plays. He's stealing a living at this club. I think people would be more graceful towards him if he actually tried, if it even looked like he was trying when he played, but it never does. Other than that goal against Bournemouth at the start of last season, I've not seen anything from him that shows that he's determined, that he's ready to play for Chelsea. So sell him at whatever cost, even if it means we take a loss on the books to get his wages off the books and to get him away from the club. It's the best thing to do. But in the case of Jackson, I think it's just unfortunate because we can all see he's great on the ball, he's a good dribbler, he's a decent passer, he presses, he tries his best, but I just don't think as a striker he will ever have that finishing instinct. He will never be a good enough finisher to lead the line for Chelsea. and his discipline issues have become a problem. Although you can say that the red cards were unlucky, he wasn't trying to hurt the players. It's too often in important moments as well, and you can see when he's playing on the pitch that if he misses a chance or does something wrong, he's thinking about it for the whole game. He's overthinking. Unlike a Cole Palmer, he misses a chance, he goes again. You can see he's not thinking about what happened 2 minutes ago or 20 seconds ago. He's thinking about the future. Jackson, he's living in the past. He can't get over making that mistake, and more often than not, if he has missed a chance that is deemed as easy in a game, you won't see him looking towards the goal at all throughout the whole match. And we can't have a player that is so affected like that leading the line for Chelsea. We need a strong-minded player, and with the signings of Delap and João Pedro, I think his time at Chelsea has run its course. That is all for today. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.